Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Pop Preview. I'm Sean.
I'm Alex.
And today we're watching the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. So, Spider-Man Far From Home. We were actually supposed to get this trailer a little while ago. We were actually supposed to get it last year, right around the time the Avengers EndGame trailer came out. But Sony was like, we might get lost in the shuffle a little bit. So let's hold back.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously we had Into the Spider-Verse, which really stole the show from, in my opinion, from whatever they're doing with, the Avengers timeline. Personally.
It's different. It's different.
It is different, but I care way more about Into the Spider-Verse than I care about
last year was a little bit of the year of the Spider with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and the Spider-Man video game, which was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
But with this, so obviously we're back to the MCU with this. This is going to be the third movie that comes out after Captain Marvel and Avengers EndGame. So this is going to come out in July. And then there's been a lot of debate about when does this movie actually take place. I mean, if you believe Kevin Feige, why would he lie? Well, he has reasons to lie. Maybe. But he said this movie takes place after EndGame, not before.
Which is really interesting. Because I imagine that we're going to be able to surmise a couple... I mean, everyone's going to be just analyzing the crap out of this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously when this comes out, EndGame would have already come out.
I guess that's true, because April... This is what?
This is July.
Oh, July. Okay. That makes sense.
So, I mean, whatever happens in EndGame, obviously Spider-Man is going to come back. I think we all know some of the heroes are going to come back. Some probably are not. It's just a matter of how. Yeah. So... Putting that aside, it's going to be nice to see Spider-Man again on his own, doing his own thing. The title suggests, he's not going to be at home.
He's going to be far from home.
He's going to be away. I love that they're keeping the home in there. We saw Homecoming, now Far From Home. So curious to see where the Aunt May Peter relationship is going to go, because Aunt May at the end of Homecoming, spoiler alert, she finds out he's Spider-Man. Like, that's the last thing we see. So curious how she's gonna handle that. Is she gonna totally accept it? Is she gonna kind of reject it at first then accept? Who's to know?
We won't know until we see the movie. But I have not seen this trailer, so maybe we'll get a couple little hints on how she... You guys have probably seen this already at this point. I mean, if you're watching this, you probably have seen it a week ago, at least.
Or just want to see it again. That's fine.
Well, there you go. So you guys already know. So you guys live in the future, basically. So you're time traveling at this point. So do you want to just watch it and see what we get?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
That was so good.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
Happy.
You look nice.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. New dress?
Yes, it is. How'd you know?
What just happened?
Planning a trip?
Mm-hmm. Going to Europe. It's a school trip.
Did you get your passport?
Peter Parker here to pick up a passport, please.
Mini toothpaste? Pack your suit.
I just want to go on my trip with my friends. Europe doesn't really need a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You look really pretty.
Therefore, I have value.
No, that's not right.
I'm messing with you. You look pretty, too.
I just want to spend some time with MJ. I think she really likes me, dude.
That reminds me when I first fell in love. I had just finished my food call.
So nice to finally meet you, Spider-Man.
You're Nick Fury.
Put some clothes on. Let's go for a ride.
Is he gonna be okay like that?
Might want to turn him over so he doesn't swallow his tongue.
Nick Fury just hijacked our summer vacation.
Awesome!
You got gifts, Parker, but you have a job to do. Are you going to step up or not?
You're all alone. Your friends are in trouble. What are you going to do about it?
Mysterio.
You don't want any part of this.
Who is that guy?
He's like Iron Man and Thor rolled into one.
He's no Spider-Man.
What is it with you and Spider-Man?
What, he looks out for the neighborhood, has a dope suit, and I really respect him. Sup, dickwad?
Okay. Well, I mean, we are far from home. So, so that's an interesting, it is getting a little tired to just see Spider-Man, in New York.
In Queens,
yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, yeah, let's take this somewhere else. Let's see what happens. And, I like I've always loved the trope, which is such a Spider-Man trope of I don't really want to be Spider-Man, all the time.
Yeah.
And so we kind of touch on that where it's sort of I just want to be a normal person for just a week or whatever it is. So I'm going to leave the suit. So yeah, I like that arc that he's going to have to deal with where it's no, I can't escape this. I'm Spider-Man always.
I mean,
everywhere.
It's kind of like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2.
That's
where
exactly
just well, I'm no longer Spider-Man. What that kind of looks like, but then finding out the world can't go without Spider-Man, so he has to do it again. And I could understand him wanting to leave the suit behind, especially if this does take place after EndGame.
Yeah.
It's dude, I went through all that stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever happens. Let me just have a week or so with just my friends, no suit. Let me just get away from that.
Right.
But of course, he can't do that. Nick Fury kind of brings him in, and it's nice to see Nick Fury surviving whatever happens in EndGame 2. Coming back, kind of recruiting him for some mission. That's kind of why he probably might have had that stealth suit, because he's maybe it's a black ops thing at some point where it's off the books type mission.
Right, sure. But plot aside, just to get back to just that arc, I just really like that, and that makes me want to see this, because we've seen Spider-Man do his thing and kick ass, and of course everyone's really interested in the plot and who's the villain and how does this tie into MCU, but for me, you still have to nail, you still have to make a good movie, you know what I mean? You still have to nail the character, and and for this, to quote Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi version, it's when he's struggling with this, he says, am I not supposed to have what I want, what I need, what am I supposed to do? And that just really resonates with anyone, because everyone's felt that way at some point in their life. It's why can't I just have what I want and what I need? Why do I have to do this other thing? And how do I navigate that? And I'm hoping that they touch on that a little bit more in this one, because I just love that. I love that narrative.
Yeah, and it's nice to see. I'm hoping that they don't play the trope that Aunt May's mad that she found out. It looks like I'm hoping that scene is at the beginning where she just accepts it. It's all right, you're Spider-Man, just be careful, and let's just deal with it and move on from it. And it kind of looks like Happy Hogan's there. Funny, no Tony. You didn't see Tony. No mention of Tony.
Yeah. Well, this is just the official teaser trailer.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe Tony didn't survive it. Who knows? But it looks like Happy Hogan's now trying to move in on Aunt May, which is funny. I'm curious to see what happens there, but. I'm liking the fact. So we saw Mysterio. So Mysterio is one of Spider-Man's greatest enemies, but the trailer's kind of making it seem like he may not be all bad. So he might start off being bad, and something might happen where he might have to be on their side.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really do him justice in terms of oh, this is a real threat in this trailer. I didn't get the sense that this.
But maybe he's not gonna really be a threat. He might just be around.
Yeah.
And we might assume he's the main bad guy, but then something might turn. There might be a little bit of a twist.
Villain.
Or someone's manipulated him, and now he's kind of turned the tables on them later on. So we got to see Hydro Man 2 as well. So I'm curious to see if Hydro Man is just a pawn. Waterman. If he's a pawn or if he's going to be who knows? Again, this is just
who is the fireman? Who is fireman? Magma Man? Who? There was a fireman, right?
There was something else. I'm not 100% sure what that was.
What was that?
But the water guy was
you
definitely.
You guys probably know. Who was it?
Was Hydro Man for sure.
Okay.
But curious to see how Nick Fury plays into this as well. Why is he recruiting Spider-Man specifically? Maybe because of Spider-Man's powers, or who knows?
And obviously we're going to be looking at this, the movie itself, through a completely different lens after EndGame comes out.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It's just a really interesting... I don't know. I feel like this is unprecedented in terms of like movie release schedules.
It really
kind of
is.
Schedules.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, it really is unprecedented, so it's difficult to know what to expect.
I mean, but I will give it credit. It really doesn't spoil EndGame, except for now you know for sure Spider-Man's going to end up being okay. Nick Fury's going to end up being okay. So is Maria Hill and all of Spidey's friends. Other than that, there's still a big question mark on what happens.
Right.
And we still don't know how everything comes back to normal. So that
maybe it's
stuff...
a different universe.
Different universe, different timeline.
Different dimension.
It could be so many different things. I mean, I doubt different dimension, different timeline.
I wouldn't be surprised if...
It's a good point.
Well, because that's a thing, because Spider-Man did the Spider-Verse. Not that they're tied together in any way, but that is a thing, at least in comics, where, it's like, oh, well, in this dimension, or in this reality, this, and this, and that. And I wouldn't be surprised if the only way that we can see our heroes again after EndGame is some sort of weird split in the reality that we know.
I mean,
that would be really interesting.
It's either that... Or is it a different timeline? Or
it's the same one.
It's just the same one.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't want to or trying to come up with these really ridiculous,
elaborate. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it could just be it's the same timeline. That's a possibility too.
Of course.
So we're not gonna know. I'm curious when the next trailer will come out.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure
give too much away.
Yeah, we can't give too much away. But if Sony takes a nod from Marvel in the sense and Disney in the sense that Kevin Feige said that the EndGame trailers, we're only really going to see the footage from the first 10, 15 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. So if you stick with that vein, I think a lot of that stuff, especially with the Aunt May stuff, happened in the beginning.
Sure.
So you can show a couple of jokes there, and maybe a little bit more of the action, but don't give away something that we want to learn in EndGame in any of your trailers. That's the only thing I'm concerned about, because I'm pretty sure we'll get trailer 2 before EndGame comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit worried about that. After EndGame, do whatever you want, who cares? Yeah. But I'm worried about trailer number 2 before EndGame comes out.
I mean, I think that they're smart at this point, and
I hope so.
They obviously have a plan. Yeah. So I'm not as worried. I think I think anything that they do is gonna be completely intentional, whether or not it pisses everybody off or not. No press is bad press, is what I say. So,
yeah, I mean, Kevin Feige is still semi in charge on this, even though it's Sony. He's a producer on this, so he might have some say. So I'm like, maybe we don't want to show that yet. Just calm down, Sony. This movie's gonna do really well anyway. Just relax. You don't have to give away stuff in the trailer. Just calm down. But I'm still really excited about this. It's gonna be the last Marvel movie for the year. So, and it'll come in July too, so we gotta wait a long time until we figure out what's coming out.
Yeah, and at that point, Game of Thrones will already have ended. Oh man, what do I have to look forward to, guys?
There'll be a lot of stuff. Oh, well,
Godzilla.
Next year.
I don't know when does that come out though. I don't even know when it's.
It comes up before this.
Yeah, I
but
thought so too.
But then we'll have Godzilla versus King Kong to look forward to. All right, so. That's our thoughts on Spider-Man Far From Home. What do you guys think? Let's start the conversation below. Do you like the trailer? Do you like that it didn't show very much, spoiling EndGame so far? What are your thoughts about why Nick Fury's recruiting Spider-Man? What do you think about Hydro Man, Mysterio, all that stuff? Let's start the conversation below in the comments. And also like and subscribe to our channel when we do the next reviews, and click that bell so that when we do it, you know that it's out. But until then, I'm Sean.
I'm Alex.
Till next time, guys.